Forget about calling for help. Forget about GPS rescue teams. Forget about every modern survival tool you've ever relied on. Because right now, you're sprinting barefoot across the African savanna 2 million years ago, and the thunder behind you isn't a storm. It's a short-faced hyena the size of a modern bear, and it's closing the distance between you with every heartbeat. Your name doesn't matter anymore. You're Homo erectus, upright, tool-using, but still very much prey. The animal skin draped across your shoulders offers no protection from what's hunting you. Your only advantages? A sharpened stone gripped in your sweating palm, and a brain that's learning, desperately, to think its way out of becoming someone else's meal. The dry grass whips against your legs as you run. Your lungs burn. The watering hole where you'd been drinking moments ago is already 50 meters behind you. But safety, a rocky outcrop where your group has sheltered before, is still impossibly far ahead. You risk a glance backward. The creature's eyes lock onto yours. Pachycrocuta, brevirostris, the bone-crushing hyena. Its massive jaws can shear through elephant femurs like brittle wood, and right now, those jaws are fixed on you. This isn't the scavenging, laughing hyena of modern Africa. This is an apex predator that hunts what it wants and takes what it kills. You made a critical mistake at the waterhole. You approached alone. The group had warned you with gestures and urgent vocalizations, but thirst had overridden caution. Now you're paying the price that evolution demands from those who forget they're not yet at the top of the food chain. Your breath comes in ragged gasps. The rocky outcrop is closer now, maybe 200 meters. Behind you, the hyena's panting grows louder, a rhythmic threat that matches your pounding heart. Then you see them, 3 more shapes materializing from the tall grass to your left. The pack. This changes everything. A single predator you might evade. A coordinated pack? They've been hunting together for thousands of generations, perfecting strategies that have dropped every human ancestor who came before you. Your mind races through options at a speed that would have been impossible for Australopithecus. Tool use, fire, cooperation. These are your species' gifts, purchased with evolutionary time, and the bones of countless predecessors who didn't think fast enough. But you're alone, and cooperation requires others. 30 meters ahead, a dead acacia tree rises from the savanna like a skeletal hand reaching for the sky. Its lower branches are just within reach. If you can get there, if your exhausted legs don't fail, if the pack doesn't cut you off first, you angle toward it, every muscle screaming protest. The lead hyena behind you releases a vocalization. Not a laugh, but a hunting call that makes your primitive nervous system flood with pure, ancestral terror. The pack responds, adjusting their approach, tightening the noose. 20 meters, 15. The nearest pack member bursts from the grass directly in your path, massive jaws agape, forcing you to pivot hard right. You stumble, barely catching yourself, and the lead predator behind you surges forward for the killing strike. This is the moment. Fight or die. You spin, that sharpened stone suddenly feeling pathetically small in your hand, but it's all you have. As the hyena launches itself toward you, time seems to fracture. You can see the yellow stains on its enormous teeth, smell the carrion in its breath, observe the intelligence in its eyes. This animal knows it's won. You thrust the stone forward with everything you have, not at its head, but at its throat. The blade finds flesh, opens a gash, and warm blood sprays across your chest. The hyena's momentum carries it past you, and it crashes into the dirt, snarling in rage and pain. You don't wait to see if the wound is fatal. You run, 10 meters to the tree, 5. Your hands find bark, your feet find purchase. and you're climbing with the desperate efficiency of a primate whose ancestors spent millions of years in trees before your species chose to walk upright. Below you, the pack converges on their wounded leader. For a precious moment, you're forgotten. They're social animals, but injury triggers complex dynamics: help or abandon, protect or exploit. You climb higher, branch by precarious branch, until you're 15 feet above the ground. Safe for now. Your chest heaves, your hands shake. The stone blade is gone, dropped somewhere in your flight. The lead hyena has regained its feet, blood matting the fur at its throat. It stares up at you with those intelligent eyes, calculating. The pack circles the tree, patient as death itself. This is when you realize climbing was the easy part. Coming down is the problem you haven't solved. The sun tracks across the sky as hours pass. Your throat becomes a desert. The hyenas show no sign of leaving. They're persistent hunters, capable of waiting days for trapped prey. Your fingers cramp around the branch. Below, one of the pack members begins digging at the tree's base, testing its stability. Then, from the distance, a sound that resurrects hope. Vocalizations. Human vocalizations. Your group. You call back, your voice cracking with dehydration, but carrying across the savanna. The hyena's heads snap toward the sound. They know what's coming. Pack versus pack. Numbers versus numbers. Your people emerge from the tall grass like avenging spirits. 12 strong, all carrying weapons, all moving with coordinated purpose. They've been searching for you. They've brought fire. The elder at the front, a Homo erectus who has survived 4 decades in this brutal world, carries a burning branch, sweeping it in wide arcs. Fire, the secret weapon that's transforming your species from prey to predator. The hyenas have seen fire before. They've learned to fear it. The pack holds for a moment, weighing odds, calculating survival. Then the wounded leader makes the decision. They melt back into the grass, disappearing as suddenly as they appeared. Your people surround the tree, calling up to you with sounds of relief and reproach. The elder waits at the base, fire in one hand, spear in the other. When you finally descend, your legs barely hold you. They offer you water from a hide container. Share meat they'd been carrying. The youngest member gestures at your blood-stained chest, pointing at the grass where your stone blade lies in the dirt, then back at you with something that looks remarkably like respect. You didn't just survive. You fought. You adapted. You made a predator bleed. That night, huddled around the fire with your group, you stare into the flames and understand something profound. Every human alive today descends from survivors like you, from ancestors who faced down nightmares with nothing but stone and wit and refused to become extinct. The bone-crushing hyenas are gone now, lost to time, but your lineage endured. The scars on your hands will heal. The memory of those jaws will not, but neither will the knowledge that when evolution tested you, when it demanded proof that your species deserved to continue, you passed. Because you're not just Homo erectus. You're the reason Homo sapiens eventually inherited the Earth. So the next time you face something that seems impossible, remember, you carry the DNA of survivors who stared down prehistoric apex predators and lived to pass on their genes. That's not just your story, that's your inheritance. Could you survive a prehistoric predator attack? Maybe not, but your ancestors did. And that's why you're here to wonder. Now hit subscribe and join us next time as we explore whether you could survive the eruption that nearly ended humanity. Because your ancestors barely did. See you in the next story.